Understand that within the context of you being a hopeless romantic and manipulating women to love you.
Because I have the ability, and I've been put in a position, having that king complex, that I can love and provide and be a part of multiple situations.
But do you recognize that you're being spiritually and emotionally underfulfilled by not allowing yourself to be properly loved? I don't think you see it because you're in the hustle and bustle of career in life. I don't think you sit still long enough to really see how you're missing out, because
I don't think most men care about being quote unquote properly loved. I think most men are properly loved. We don't care about it though. That's not we don't give, because we're not humans, right? We're very disconnected from our humanity. So love doesn't mean anything to us. That's not what it is. We're self-serving. So if it doesn't if we don't get that dopamine hit, if it's not something that fuels that dopamine hit, or fuels that desire, or quenches that thirst, then we don't want it. We don't care. It's not as important. So love isn't as important as lust. You know what I'm saying? Like we would rather fulfill our lustfulness than fulfill our love, fulfill our need for love, unfortunately.
as men, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to divine design. We're engineered to need a woman to fill us up. They replenish.
Why are we engineered? That makes us reliant on women. I don't believe in God, so divine design goes right out the window. I don't give a fuck what we were designed like. We can evolve. We can evolve. Men should not need women to replenish us. We shouldn't need that. We should be able to replenish ourselves. The only way that would make sense would be in a relationship. Like, if the woman is taking from you, then she must give back, right? She has to, because you can fill up your cup by yourself, right? Like, you should be able to do that by yourself. So whatever you give to somebody, you should be able to get it back. You should be able to replenish yourself. Whatever energy or whatever you put out into the world, you need to figure out a way to to replenish yourself, right? The problem, but in a relationship, okay, yeah, I'll give you that. If a woman is leaning on you or needs you or whatever the case may be, and you're filling her cup up or whatever, then she needs to fill your cup up. It should be cyclical, right? It should be reciprocal. I'm with that. But we, by design, we should not need a woman to replenish us, because what are you doing until you get a woman? What are you, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing until you get a woman? And why would a woman want a man that isn't full himself? Why does she want to get a man that's empty and then do the work to fill him up? Who wants to do the work? Who wants to do that labor? Why are we putting that on women? That's weird. It's crazy.
Us. So no matter how you cut the cake, you have a large emptiness within you as it relates to love and intimacy.
Okay.
And I think you do a good job of distracting yourself from that fact. My question is, how long are you going to do this before you face your demons and man the fuck up?
I would say.
Also, this is a conversation Umar should be having with himself in the mirror. sounds a little like projection here, but yeah, he's right. I agree with a lot of what he's saying right now, oddly enough.
First of all, the women that do love me at the highest level. In their ability, they attempt and desire to give me their all.
Okay.
Dude, Nick Cannon, if you didn't know he was a narcissist before, you know what I'm saying, whatever, but like his narcissism, like how he speaks in platitudes, that is like a marker of a narcissist, because they can't connect with humanity. So they don't really say real things. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to what the fuck he's like. What is this? What are you talking about? They love me at the highest level. Like, what the fuck what does that mean? What are you talking about? They don't say things that really resonate with real human beings, unfortunately.
I'm grateful and appreciative to that. And I understand and recognize that. And I also understand that that's not the typical infrastructure or microcosm of a relationship.
Okay.
Infrastructure or microcosm? What the fuck?
Therefore, I enjoy the life that I have. I enjoy the way love comes to the direction to me at this point in my life. I love every experience that I've had.
Okay.
I love every new experience that is in front of me.
What is he saying, y'all? I'm not joking. What the fuck is he talking about? Like everything Umar said, I could pick up what he's putting down, right? Like I understand it. I disagree with parts of it like I did, but I can understand it. What the fuck are you talking about, Nick Cannon?
And so in that manning up concept, I believe I'm manning up on every level because I'm not desiring I've had the interaction with just one individual and we're pouring. I've had it. I no longer desire that. What I enjoy and desire currently.
You never wanted it then. You did that with Mariah so you can sleep with her and so you can trap her and so you can have babies with Mariah Carey. And that was a notch on your thing. Oh man, I got Mariah Carey. These niggas will never think Nick Cannon to get Mariah Carey. You got her. You did. You tricked her. You had twins. Congratulations. You never wanted it though. Trying to act like I've been there, done that. You never wanted it. You played house for a little while. The whole time you were neglectful and an asshole and all of that stuff. Right?
Is the space in which the people who are willing to make the sacrifice and love me the way that they love me now.
So are you getting...
Why does anybody need to sacrifice to love you? That's so weird. It's so weird. That's dangerous. Like, why would anybody want to get involved with the person that they need to sacrifice to love? Like, what?
A little bit of love from each woman that ultimately equals in your mind a full plate of the intimacy that you need. Are they all contributing?
Let me just cut to the chase real quick, y'all. It's taking too long. Rich niggas think that they can have their cake and eat it too. They can, largely, most of them can, because there's always going to be a demographic of women who are willing to get with the man for financial gain or for, status or to have access to whatever. And they think that they can get with these women and they never have to actually commit. They never have to actually do the work because he gets he doesn't have to actually do anything because he's not in a relationship with any of these women. He doesn't have to commit to anything, right? So if they don't like him or whatever for a day or a week or you just stay away. You don't have to sleep in the same house with them. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have to worry about, the kids hearing him argue about it. Like none of that stuff. He's just like, whatever. She don't like me right now. She'll come back. Oh yeah, another Quaalude. She love me in the morning. Like that's how he feel. He feel like Tony Montana in Scarface, right? He don't care. That's what it is, and that's what most men, I believe, that's what most men would do if they had access or the capability to do so. I think most men would function like Nick Cannon to some extent, narcissists or not. Like that's the worst part about this. Like maybe all men are narcs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the patriarchy is narcissism, right? Like, I don't know, right? At this point, it sounds like it is. But most men would function the way that Nick Cannon functions to some degree. Maybe not as many kids or whatever, but just the idea that I can have like a plethora of women and I can have access to a bunch of women without actually committing to them in any real way, that sounds like a narc. That sounds like a man's dream. I said narc's dream, but either way, interchange the words.
Being a piece.
I want to say yes. I think it's a little more complex than that.
Okay.
I think again, going back, the space.
Bit of love from each woman that ultimately equals in your mind a full plate
a little bit of
the intimacy that you need. Are they all contributing a piece?
I want to say yes. I think it's a little more complex than that.
Okay.
I think, again, going back to the king complex, I know it's a complex of their.
Listening to this is a little odd because, like, clearly Umar is significantly more emotionally intelligent and educated than Nick Cannon, but Umar also is terrible. That's what I'm saying. Like, I say this, I'd say, I mean, it's just crazy. It's like, get with Umar. He's like, also, this shows you the different types of men. So there is a lot of men who are lame, like Nick Cannon, who use their fame and money to gain access to women. And then there are men like Umar who are emotionally intelligent and they use that, right? They can play on that. Being emotionally intelligent doesn't mean that you use it for good. People use their intelligence. Edmund Kemper used his intelligence to unalive women. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can use your intelligence for anything you want to. And Nick Cannon also, I don't think he's intelligent at all, but he definitely talks about how he love bombs and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he uses that too. I don't know if that's emotional intelligence per se, but he understands that that's an easy end for most people, is to like show them this intense level of attention.
There's something within me that believes I have enough to sustain loving relationships with more than one person.
And
when you say something in you thinks that, the something in you is narcissism. The something in you is ego. The something in you is lack of compassion. That's the something in you.
Within me that believes I have enough to sustain loving relationships with more than one person.
And you're comfortable with just enough from each of the women, because as long as they only give you a piece, you never have to give any of them your whole heart. So you're still
sound like I mastered the game.
Listen, Nick. Listen to Nick. Look at his response. First of all, Umar clocked that shit. I ain't gonna even lie. Umar clocked the fuck out of that.
With just enough from each of the women, because as long as they only give you a piece, you never have to give any of them your whole heart.
That's exactly what I said, by the way, earlier in this clip, by the way. But that's exactly what it is. But Nick Cannon's response is disgusting.
So you're still
sound like I mastered the game.
Exactly. Chuckling. Umar didn't find that funny, by the way. Y'all know this. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Umar didn't think that was funny. The idiots in the crowd did, the men in the crowd did, but Umar didn't think that was funny. But he clocked the fuck out of that.
Do you see how fame and success have enabled you to not confront those lifelong issues you had, so that you can ultimately be what a woman would need?
Absolutely. And I like it.
No, you like what? Give me that.
I like, because
this is me. Like I just said, most men, look, the men chuckling in the back. This is crazy. Listen, I mean, Umar is a psychologist, so this shouldn't be that wild. But Nick is like, yeah, man, I'm rich, so I don't have to ever be a better person. I'm rich and I'm famous. And that's what it affords me. And that's why men are obsessed with wealth and fame, right? Men are obsessed with wealth and fame because we don't want to be challenged. And the easiest way for you to never be challenged is to be wealthy and to be famous. You got both of those things together, you could create your own reality, even though you know that I know that reality is only, it's only one thing, but like for all intents and purposes, you can create your own reality, you can create your own bubble. You can move in the world a different way than working class men like me have to move through the world. I have to care what people think about me. I have to maintain relationships. I have to work with women. I have to, you know what I'm saying? I I have a wife. I don't have to have a wife, but I have well, shit, I need my wife, but I don't have to have a wife technically, right? Like I could be divorced if I wanted to be. But he doesn't have to worry about that. He can just pay an assistant. He can fly here. He can go there. He doesn't have to talk to anybody he doesn't want to talk to. People are going to be scared to challenge him because they're suckling at the teat that is Nick Cannon, whatever. And he's chuckling about it. He's like, yeah, I get to be a terrible human being. And I like it. We got you, Nick. We hear you loud and clear, buddy. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being honest.
You got to think, if we take it all the way back to childhood, the thing that I've been desiring all my life is that fame, that fortune, that success in that space to allow me to maneuver throughout this world the way that I want to.
But you're still maneuvering throughout this world as you want to, as a scared child.
I'm fine with that.
Your inner child. Listen, when we're born,
I'm fine with that.
Inner child. Everybody, I got one.
Indeed.
That inner child has a memory of every trauma, drama, disappointment, butt whipping, spanking, bully episode. It remembers it all.
Yes.
Part of becoming an
the body doesn't forget. The body keeps score. That's what Umar is talking about. The body keeps score. Yeah, it holds on to that. So even if your mind may push it way down in the recesses of your brain, it's still there, and it shows up a lot of times physiologically, and it shows up mentally often.
It remembers it all.
Yes.
Part of becoming an adult, because remember, we all have a physical age, and we all have an emotional age.
Absolutely.
You follow me?
Nick's emotional age is 15.
Yeah.
And if
He's stuck in Nickelodeon era, Nick. He's the same kid, Nickelodeon era, Nick. He never grew up. Peter Pan.
you're dysfunctional, your emotional age is much lower than your physical.
100%.
Nick Cannon is living through his inner child.
I might be living through my inner adolescent.
Man. Okay, or your inner adolescent.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, my ego wouldn't allow me to let this episode ever get out. I would have kept this shit under wraps because Umar is clocking the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
But more than your spiritual man.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
That ain't the way it's supposed to be. And you're gonna lose in the end if you don't.
What am I gonna lose?
Because ultimately,
He ain't gonna
you
lose.
were sent into this world by supreme consciousness to fulfill a mission.
Nah, you lost him. You lost him. He ain't gonna lose. He's right. He's not gonna lose. Like, there is no, like, people believe in karma and shit. Like, the karma isn't real. You know what I'm saying? I get the idea of karma, right? I do think that to some extent, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you burn a bunch of bridges and then you need help, more than likely you're not gonna have anybody there to help you, right? I get that concept of karma. But there are certain things that will supersede that. There are certain things that, like money and fame, that he will never be alone. He can just pay for the services of people, right? Whether it's fake or not, he don't know. He don't care. So when he gets older, he ain't gonna die alone. He got somebody right next to him. He have a nurse. He have people around him, right? And people will just be around him for his money. Like he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Unfortunately, it's not. This isn't about Nick. This is about the people in his life, though. He is hurting his children. He is hurting the women in his life, right? That's who he's hurting. It ain't about him. Fuck him. They won't be all right from the way that he treats them. They will always be searching for something more. His kids are going to feel the disconnect. They are going to suffer. And they're not going to be rich and famous like him. None of them will be. I almost guarantee you none of Nick Cannon's kids will ever be as rich or as famous as he is. None of them.
It's going to be difficult to fulfill whatever that mission is that the Almighty gave you if you don't confront your demons along the path. And
you lost me. You lost me. But yeah, Umar clocked the guy to Nick Cannon. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That was beautiful. Nick is a terrible human being, and he openly admits it. You guys heard it.